everybody, and welcome to the Keto 101 videos with Yogi. Make sure that you click like and subscribe down below so that you can get all the new videos. Give us feedback on the comments, and make sure you check the show notes for any kind of offers or links to products that we may mention in the show videos. Also, remember, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is simply guidelines of how to do a ketogenic diet in basic standards and how I would follow the ketogenic diet. All right, everybody, have a great day and enjoy the video. I'm back with a Keto 101. This is Yogi, and today we're going to talk about the different ways that people do a ketogenic diet, so it'll help with confusion. This isn't a linear path of being in ketosis. There's many ways to actually get there. So the main way we've already discussed, and that's having your ratios of your food on calories that you take in, 70% fat, 20% protein, and 10% carbohydrate. Now, you will see that there are people that will eat a higher protein diet, like a carnivore diet, where they're eating steak and ribeyes and things that may not be as fatty, but they still stay in ketosis. You will see people fasting who are going to go into ketosis because they're not taking in calories. Their body is accessing their fat cells. So fasting is actually a ketogenic lifestyle. You'll see people who do a plant-based ketogenic diet where they may include some animal products such as fish or eggs. Some can do even a straight-up vegan where they're just sticking with vegetarian oils. There's so many different ways of doing this, and I'm not here to sit there and tell you which way is a right way and which way is a wrong way, because if it works for you, it's the right way for you. If it doesn't work for you, it is the wrong way for you. So when you're starting out, the best way to go, until you learn how to do a little bit of biohacking, is to stick with your 70, 80, 20 ratio. Now, the reason why they limit protein to about 20% is because they worry about your blood sugar getting raised by eating too much protein. This can happen through a process called gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is where your body produces sugar from what you eat, and it can produce sugar from protein. It could also produce sugar from fat. The sugar is essential for brain function, for quick twitch muscle fibers, but it's not essential to eat because your body makes it. So even people who do zero carb diets, all meat diets like a carnivore diet, they still have sugar in their system because their body is producing it from the food that they're taking in. It can do it from fat as well, but it's more difficult to do it through fat. So sugar isn't a necessary part of our macronutrients. It isn't an essential nutrient. You can produce it. But what people worry about, and this isn't true for everybody. Some people react this way, some people do not. But what is worried about is if you eat too much protein, your body is going to convert that excess protein into sugar for storage later, because your body doesn't store protein, but it wants to store energy. Your fat cells are like doomsday preppers, and the sugars are basically the cans of Spam and other stuff that the preppers put up on their shelf for that time of famine, for that time when they're not getting the calories. So your body likes to have a storage of it. It likes to have a storage of it in your muscles. Just in case that lion's going to chase you, you need to have that energy, that quick energy to fight or to flee. So it wants to have a storage of the glycogen in the muscle cells ready to go just in case there's something going on. But you don't need to eat it to get there. Your body can make it, and it can store it, and it can feed your brain and do whatever. When you eat a lot of protein, too much protein for some people can cause the gluconeogenesis to go into overdrive and actually raise your blood sugar and prevent you from getting into a ketogenic state. However, this isn't true for everybody. There are some people that do very well on a high protein diet and they will stay in ketosis. And there's some theory of why that is. It could be leading to activity. It could be leading. It could be a reason. The muscle mass a person carries. Um, we don't really understand what the factors are. At least I don't. But it is true in some people and not true in other people. There are people that don't do well with meat. Their digestive system can't handle it. There's actually a tick called the longhorn tick can make you allergic to meat, so you can't eat it. So it doesn't mean you can't be on a ketogenic diet. It just means you have to do it differently. So if you have an issue eating meat, then going toward a more vegetarian style may be what's good for you if you cannot tolerate meat. So when people do that, they get their proteins from mainly plant-based things. They may incorporate certain grains like quinoa. I've seen people incorporate soy. I have my issues with soy, so I do not use it, but some people do, and that's up to you. Um, and there are several plants that you can put together to make a complete amino chain. It's crude. It's not as easy for your body to absorb and is or is bioavailable as a meat product, but people do. Some people eat occasional meat in their diet, but stick to a higher plant based because that's what works best for them. And that's okay. If you're thriving and you're doing well, that's what you do. You can still do your 70, 80, or 70, 20, 10 ratios by simply incorporating a lot of higher fat vegetable foods like avocado, um, higher um, good quality plant based fats such as high quality olive oil, um, coconut oil, palm oil, things that carry the MCTs in them, the medium chain triglycerides that are converted into ketones into the body. So these are ways that you can go, and you have to find which way works best for you. For me, I do the meat. I tried the vegetarian thing, I tried the vegan thing. It did not work well for me, especially with the fact that I had to supplement a high amount of B vitamins to make it work. And when I didn't get those B vitamins, there were some problems. So, yeah. But I'm not knocking anybody else's path. What works for you is what works for you. Um, so then there's fasting. And fasting is obviously the absence of calories to allow your body to live off the calories that's in his body. There's a lot of health benefits to fasting. Most people find that it's easier to fast by starting off on a ketogenic diet, consuming fat to get their body adapted to use fat for fuel, so that when they go on to fasting, it isn't a harsh adaptation of their body trying to figure out what to use for fuel. They already know, hey, I can use this fat, so it starts tapping into the fat cells. Um, Fasting, you want to be educated on how you do it. You want to do it properly. You want to be able to come out of your fast properly. You want to be able to prep for your fast properly. So we'll talk about it a bit in one of the other videos, and I will leave links when I do that video down below. On all my videos, always check for links because they're sometimes there. Um, but for fasting, what you are doing is instead of eating the sandwich or eating the steak off your plate, you're eating the steak um, off of your body. Uh, um, I've heard the expression you could either eat the sandwich off your plate or you can eat the sandwich off your ass. A little crass, but that's essentially what you're doing. So you're actually getting your calories from that. It is important that when you are fasting that you get your minerals in, but when you fast, you are not consuming calories, because if you consume calories and you raise your blood sugar, you're no longer fasting. So it's basically food in absentia. You're not going to go, hey, can I have my bulletproof coffee and still be fasting? No, it's not. It's not a typical. It might be a fat fast, but it's not a fast fast. So we'll talk more about that later in another video, but that's another way to get into a ketogenic state or to maintain a ketogenic state. And there's different ways of fasting too. Some people do extended fast, some people do short intermediate fasts, fasting with eating windows, and we'll break all that down later. But it is a tool you can use, and you can check out the book by Dr. Jason Fung, The Complete Guide to Fasting, which is an excellent resource. Jimmy Moore and Dr. Jason Fung wrote that. We'll put a link down below. All right, everybody, have a great day.